Salutations viewers, in this video I'm going to explain how to stay warm in the winter in Russia. It could be any cold place. Moscow doesn't go down to -20 very often. Some parts of the country where it reaches -60, so I've been told, the coldest town on earth. But anyway, not thinking about that, we need absolute zero suits. -10, -20. Well, some of it's very obvious. Here I am wearing this hat called an ushanka, because it goes up my ears, my usha, or ucha, a hunter's cap, I think we call it in English. And look, it can strap under the chin if needs be. So it's a bit warm to wear it inside. I'll take it off anyway. It may seem comical, but believe me, there are times when it's a lifesaver. Wearing a scarf, obviously. So you shouldn't just wrap it or tie it in an ordinary fashion. Doing it like this, doubling it over and putting this end through the loop you've created like that keeps the warmth in like nothing else, because your carotid arteries and your jugulars, there's a lot of blood going up to your brain. We all know that so much heat is lost through the head, which is why a hat is so important. So the layer principle should be common sense. Now, I'm not wearing a tie deliberately yet to show that I'm wearing 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and I've got a jacket to go on this. So it's not just the thickness of the layers, it's the number of layers. I'll have 5 layers eventually. But despite the layers, don't underestimate the importance of the hat, the scarf, and indeed the gloves, because sometimes I haven't worn a scarf and my throat has been very cold. It feels like my skin is being stung by the chilly air. Okay, another thing is obviously boots. Wear adequate footwear. Here are some walking boots, leather ones, I can polish them. They look all right in a work situation. There are excellent black leather ankle boots that Russian men wear, fur-lined, which are very good in a chilly climate, but they also look acceptable in an office situation. Be careful not to get wet, because obviously that might turn to ice on you. Don't go out with wet hair. It should be obvious, you know, use a hairdryer even if you're male. And don't shave right before you go out and fail to dry your face. I did it once. That is a mistake I'll never make again. Felt like ice was coming up on my face. So there's some superb warming food to eat. The Russians do a fine line in sumptuous soups. They're surpassingly good. Borsch, which is beetroot soup. I used to eat beetroot in the British Isles and found it revolting. I had to eat cold beetroot at prep school. But this beetroot soup with ginger is just what you need to give your immune system a fillip at this time of year. The houses tend to be warm, so somewhere warm inside. I wouldn't overheat it, some people do here, because that makes the contrast terrible. It's such a shock to go from like 30 indoors to -10 outdoors. When it's very cold, don't stay outside for too long. It's common sense, and walk fast to keep your body warm, and then you're walking into somewhere warm. So that's the way it goes. It's all straightforward, it's all logical. I hope anybody could figure it out, but a surprising number of people don't get it right. As the Russians say, there's no such thing as bad weather. The proverb says there's only bad clothes. If you dress appropriately for it, then it will not be a problem. 2 pairs of socks if you don't have thermal socks. Proper gloves. All these things make a huge difference, and that way you can stay very healthy through the winter.